I'm going to kick things off with our very first author today. Her name is Misty Lown. She is the author of One Small Yes. And Misty, will you join me here on the red carpet?
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Oh, it is great to have you. Misty, let's just start off by telling people about One Small Yes. What is the book about?
Thanks for the opportunity. Well, the book is about how small decisions today can lead to massive results later. See, I didn't think I would be a dance teacher or a dance studio owner. I wanted to be a dancer. That's just what I had my heart set on as a late teen and early adult. I had a ticket to New York City to train at one of the world's preeminent schools. But when I went to watch that performance, I just had a nudge in my heart, what I would call a God whisper, saying, what impact will this performance have on you a week, a month, or a year from now? What impact will you have on students for a lifetime? So I made that shift as a 19-year-old, that I would let the classroom be my stage. It was one small yes, and I never would have predicted that 20 years later, I'd be leading a dance school association that has a positive impact on 60,000 kids a week. So I wrote the book because people look at what I'm doing now and they say, how do you do that? And the answer is, I didn't do that. I said one small yes to something small, that next little nudge, the next thing I was supposed to do. And I kept saying yes. So my encouragement is, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
I love that. So Misty, a lot of people and many, by the way, if you are here because you're supporting Misty, go ahead and type that in the chat box so that she knows who's here. Just say where you're from or your dance studio if you are a More Than Dancing participant in Misty's dance world, so she knows who's here. So a lot of people think of you with your background in dance and all of the people you've influenced in dance. And I won't say they pigeonhole you, but they think of you as somebody who has a dance message. And I think a lot of times the way we're perceived by other people, so if you're, perceived as an athlete, it might be hard to make art. And so for you, was there an obstacle you had to overcome not writing, a straight book about, let's say, how to run a dance studio? But this is really a departure for you. And I want to understand more about why and how you made that.
That's such a great question. Angela, when I started, I was writing a 5, 6, 7, 8 to a better dance studio. And I met you at a conference and realized I was writing the wrong book. Because what I didn't want to do was to write a narrowly focused book that would be about specific tools or strategies. I wanted to write about success principles for life. One Small Yes is all about how anybody at any stage of life can find their calling and take one small step towards it, regardless of whether or not they work in the arts, in leadership, even just parenting. These are success principles that go well beyond what I do for a living and apply to anybody for wherever they are in their life.
So a lot of people who think about writing a book are wondering, maybe consciously, maybe subconsciously, but like, will I be judged? Do I have something to share here? Am I an expert? And I know it would be hard for you to question your expertise running dance studios or helping people run dance studios. But this is an area where you might have had to kind of say, who am I to write this book? It's the number one question I hear. How did you answer that? And how did you keep yourself, keep your confidence up in the process of writing it?
I actually write about this in the book. It's a position I call the doubter's default. And I think anybody on that first step of the journey, you have that immediate yes, I'm going to say yes to this. I said yes to opening a dance studio. I remember being flooded with doubt. 20 years later, I said yes to writing this book. And then immediately I had that thought.
What was I thinking?
What was I thinking for sure? How am I going to get it done? I have 5 kids, we have a new puppy, we have several businesses. How do you make time for this? This is the one thing that doesn't need to be done. But then I thought, who am I not to do this? Who am I to silence the message that I think that God put in my heart to share with other people, to encourage and to inspire? And I think if you can put aside your doubter's default position and have a lens that you look through life at that says, you know what, I have worth, I have value, and I can help other people to feel the same way, then you're on a path to achieving something great and making a difference.
One of the things that I love that goes throughout all your work, whether it's this book or your dancing work or your role as a mom or whatever, is you have a connection to God that just runs through everything as a through line. And I wonder for you, how did that play into writing a book? What was your connection with God in writing this book, and did it change?
That's been my baseline, and that was a hard-fought journey myself. I went through a lot of curves and detour paths to get to a place where I really recognized that I was created with value and that I have a hope and a future. My early teen years would have said something completely different than what you would read in my book today or what you would see as my life today. And when I finally got a picture that God made me with a unique piece to play in this puzzle of life, and that I had something to share with others, it changes everything. To just know that you have a worth and a value, a hope and a future, changes everything. And in writing the book, I just wanted to share that in an authentic and elegant way. It's not something that I have to even mention a whole lot of times. Just a few times in the book, will I make mention of God. But I think when you have that faith as a true north, it just kind of permeates everything that you do. And hopefully it's like a candle. It draws people in.
Yeah, I love that. Awesome. I'm just going to quickly check my messages because I think we may have a question from, whoa, holy cow. There are a lot of people who love you. Christian Dance Theater in South Carolina. Nikki, one of the original Three Musketeers. All right. We love Nikki. Caroline from Sioux Falls. Anne from Dance Excellence. Cheryl from RPM Teachers Training. So many of you, 80% of you are here to support authors like Misty. Yes, and thank you all for being here. The 20% of you who are looking to write a book of your own, as you're listening to these interviews, go ahead and take away some of those takeaways, like Misty's connection to God and knowing that that part of her mission is writing this book, that's also connected to source and her creator for that. So listen to those little clues, because while in this program we can't teach you step by step, you will hear little mentions of what it took to accomplish this goal. And I hope you'll take them with you. And Misty, congratulations on One Small Yes. If you have not downloaded it yet, you can see a picture of it on the screen. Click on that link, go download a copy, recommend it to one friend. Right now, do that for us, because that one small yes could lead to a 20, 30-year difference in someone's life. So thank you, Misty. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's great.